EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And we are underway from the Superdome. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
2nd and 1. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now 2nd and 9. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Slant pass complete to Olave. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. This from 36 yards out. And his kick is good. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week one. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
That one brought back a few nightmares, because when the quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there, having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
Now a first carry here for their running back. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And this will be a Jaguars first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward. So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 41. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Peters. A very solid gain of 27. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Now a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 37. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. They'll look to throw again. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season, and they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And here's a Louisiana native from the town of Jennings. It's Travis Etienne. And he is going to have a Jags first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Back to throw now on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jags are able to widen their advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Quan Martin. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But, Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. They'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Second and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This throw nearly intercepted. Oh, the big D lineman almost had it, but 3rd down coming up.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Back to throw again. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Martin. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. Here's 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. And with just 4 seconds left. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the 3rd quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. From the 29, here's 2nd down and 1. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. 29 yards. And the Jaguars are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Second and 10, third quarter of the season opener. Now back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, second and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Out of the gun now on third down. That is caught, and they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Jaguars have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Trayvon Walker makes the tackle. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now...
And oh, my goodness, here's a fifth interception. Picked off by Quan Martin. And the Jaguars are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because There is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Jaguars get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this one fielded in the end zone. It won't be returned, so it'll come out to the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Inside the 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And this will be returned from deep in deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
Starting to get the sense throughout the league that more of the special teams coordinators give their guys the green light to bring the ball out because everyone wants big plays to happen. I don't know if that philosophy will hold after that era there, turn it over that deep in their own territory.
Do guys go rogue there a lot based on feeling?
I think a lot of them just sense that they can make a play and make a huge one to help their team. And they have to have that athletic arrogance about themselves. And every now and then, though, it'll cost them. And that's what we just saw there.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll set up to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. They're going to look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
2nd and 3. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. And the Jags are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A CD, always a little extra excitement for week one, and one of our early window games here in week one on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's got to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between week one and week two. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Jacksonville, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory.